Hello, this is part 3 of signing up for Quizlet, and this is the screen that you'll see after you've created your account and after you've also clicked the Continue to Free Quizlet option. This is specifically what my students will see because they're members of our class's group for 400 communications. So you can see down here 400C. And yeah, right here is a list of the sets of vocabulary words that we have. They're organized by unit, and you just click the one that you want to work with. For now, why don't we start with Unit 1? And here's the flashcard. Right now, it's set up to see the term first. You can also, at the beginning, choose, like the first time that you use the flashcards, it might be a good idea to go with both sides. Click this button. And that'll show you the vocabulary word and the definition all at once. And you just use these arrows to go forwards and backwards through the words. Yeah, and once you feel a little more comfortable with the words, you can choose to, for example, only show the definition. And then you need to see if you remember the vocabulary word. You kind of quiz yourself a little bit. So say the answer if you know it. Do you know this one? Let's check. Okay, so you just click the card to see the vocabulary word. There we go, and you click it again to go back to the definition. And again, you just go through, you can click on the card to flip between the definition and the word. And once you feel even more confident and comfortable with the vocabulary words, you could click this button, Term First. So now we see the vocabulary word, and you have to think of the definition. So that's a little more challenging, but it's good. It's a great way of studying. You can kind of work your way through the cards that way. So these are the flashcards, and they're great, especially when you're starting to study. Once you're familiar with the words and more comfortable, there's some more ways that are great ways to study and practice. So down here, there's a list of 3 different things, 3 different ways you can study. There's the speller, there's learn, and there's test. I'll let you look at speller. You can probably guess what you're going to do in speller. You'll practice spelling. But let's take a quick look at learn. What happens here is actually when you first click this button, excuse me, sorry, when you first click this button, you won't see all of this information. The reason we're seeing it right now is that I practiced a little bit because I wanted to test how it works so I'd be able to talk to you about it. So we're seeing a little extra information here because I have a history already of playing this game or studying this way. Excuse me. All right, so you are given the definition and your job is to type in the vocabulary word. So let's see, achieving the results wanted and hoped for. Well, let's give this a try. And then you hit return. Yay, it was correct. Then you just press any key to continue, or you can click here with your mouse. Great. And what if you don't know the answer, if you just can't remember the word, you can just click this button, give up, and it will give you the answer here. There's the answer, and you just type in the answer. So you still get a little practice with the word. And you hit enter, and there it is. So that's how this works. We could also see what happens if, excuse me, here, you get another try at the word that you got wrong. There we go, and we got it. And then after you've gone through the whole quiz, you get results. So the words that you got correct are in green, and the words that you got wrong are in red. As you work through it, you'll see that if you spell something wrong, it will tell you that you're wrong, but it'll give you the right answer, and then you enter it in. Sometimes, if maybe you just made a mistake typing, but you really know the answer, there's a little button that you can click. It's not here right now. Here, I can show it to you. Start over. So, what if we just bumped the keyboard and said nonsense? Oh, wait, I knew that word. I knew it was discuss. So you can choose this, override. I was right. And then your wrong answer won't count against you. Yeah, so let's go back to the set page. And there's another way of studying, which is test. And this is great after you've had a little practice with the words. Quizlet will make a quiz for you. That's why they're called Quizlet. And over here, it tells you the different kinds of questions that you can choose from. So there's written, where you'll actually have to type in the answer. There's matching, multiple choice, true, false, all of this, all sorts of options. And this is an example of the practice. Let's see, and I guess the only other thing I'd want to show you here is if you, you can also print it. That's a nice option. And let's say we wanted to change the kind of quiz. Maybe we didn't want matching or multiple choice. We wanted it to be where you have to type in the answer in true, false. You make these selections and then you click regenerate test. And that will create or make a new test for you. There you go. So now it went with what we just chose, writing and true, false. And we've got a new quiz. Pretty nice, right? Okay, so that is the study section. Let's go back to the set page. There also is this games section. We looked at some of these in class, so I won't really go over them again, but be sure to give them a try because it's a great way of practicing. Okay, so a couple other things to show you briefly is that we've got a list down below. So up above we had the flashcard for drilling and practicing, and down below we've got a list, and the terms are on the left and the definitions are in the column on the right. You'll see you can also click these buttons to hear. Well, because I've got a microphone plugged in, it won't give us the audio. But when you give this a try, click the button to listen, and it's pretty good. The voice is good, but it's a computer, so it doesn't sound perfectly natural. Still, it's really helpful for checking your pronunciation. Let's see. So we've got the pronouncing, we've got the printing. I'll also just briefly show you that you can export the information from the set. The three main parts to this page. We won't look at everything in great detail. Up here is where you could choose to export or take all of this information and send it to a spreadsheet. For example, maybe Microsoft Excel. And down here is where you can copy and paste everything. You can click here to select everything and copy it and paste it into, for example, a Microsoft Word document or an email. And then finally over here, and this is what I think will really be quite useful for you, is you can choose to reuse the terms. So I'm going to click that, and this is where you can create a new set of vocabulary words and want. So this would be your own set. You could give it a new title up here and a description. You could decide who should be able to see your set of words. Should it be everyone, just you, just certain people? So you can make that choice. And same with editing. You can decide who should be able to edit your information. Just you, everybody, just certain people. And down here, you could, for example, as helpful as it is to work with the English word and the English definition, there might be some times when you'd like to have a translation. for example, maybe English to Arabic or English to Korean. So you can delete this definition and you could type in your own. You could change the target language here. I'll just do this. And you could auto-define conversation, and that would mean that some suggestions come up. And here you'll see that for conversation, over 100 definitions are found. So here is a nice translation, and you'll see as you scroll down, you'll see different definitions in English, different translations to many, many different languages. And you can just keep scrolling down. Be a little careful because it's possible all of these things that say user contributed means you don't really know who made this answer. Maybe they're correct, maybe they aren't. So you want to be a little careful when you're making these choices. But it's a good place to start, right? So you can keep looking around until you find one that works for you. And when you do, oh here, I think I'll just use that one. Boom, there it is, it shows up there. You can also choose to move up to the bottom or bottom to top. You could also choose to delete it completely, so the X would delete it, get rid of it. It's really quite handy, and it's a quick way to start a set on your own. All right, so give it a try. Try creating your own cards. Let me know what you think. And I think I'm just going to do one last example. We're going to leave the page. We don't need to save that. I want to show you one last thing, and that is that you can, here we go. Here, combine. Combine is the last function that I want to show you. So if we click combine, we get a new page. And over here are all of the other sets of cards, all of the other pieces of information organized by unit for our classes group. And when you click the plus sign, we'll just do this one and that one, for example, they disappear from this side and they go over to this side. And now units 1, 2, and 3 are all combined, all 3 sets, and you can choose from this drop-down menu what you want to do with this new superset, this big set. One possible thing would be to play a game. So it's a good way of practicing. Then click go. And what you need to do here is type in the answer, the vocabulary word that matches the definition that's going across the screen. And if it disappears before you have time to answer, it comes up here. It gives you the answer. Your job is to then type it in. There we go. It turns green when you get it right. And then it keeps going. Failing to accomplish. What if we just get it totally wrong? All right, it comes back up. You can type it in yourself. There we go. Yeah, and if you enter a word and the definition stays on the screen, that means you weren't correct, but you can keep guessing. You get more than one try. And at the end, you see your score and you see the high scores. You can click here. Once more people have played, there'll be a nice long list of high scores. Yeah, so there's just a lot to do. Everything with Quizlet is very customizable, which means that you can make changes so that everything works just how you want it to. But I'll let you look around and explore. That's it for now. That's the end of the video. Quizlet is a great way to study and to practice with your vocabulary. See what you think and let me know how you like it. Happy studying. Good luck.